It may surprise or even shock you to hear what I'm about to say, but if you're seeing this video right now, it's no accident. We all have moments when life pivots, and everything we thought was fixed begins to shift. For you, that moment is here. Like an invisible hand is placing a key directly in your path. You might have sensed a strange momentum building lately, as if every obstacle you've faced has secretly been preparing you for this instant. Whether it's a literal key or a sudden insight that clears the fog, know that the next 24 hours hold a pivotal spark for your growth. If you feel a flutter in your chest or a wave of curiosity as you hear these words, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment 77 below to let the universe know you're ready to claim this transformation. Chapter 1. The door you never saw coming. Change often arrives in ways you least expect. You wake up one morning and the air just feels different, heavier or lighter. You can't quite decide which, but something inside you senses a threshold is waiting to be crossed. You might even notice small signs in your environment. An old friend suddenly reaches out, a conversation reveals an unexpected opportunity, or a random stranger utters a phrase that resonates far more deeply than it should. These are your sudden nudges from a divine source, whispering that you, as a chosen one, are on the verge of stepping through a doorway that's been hidden in plain sight. Perhaps for years you felt stuck in repetitive cycles. You planned meticulously, only to watch those plans unravel in ways that left you questioning your instincts. If you're honest, you might have reached a point where you wondered if you should just settle for get enough. Yet there's a persistent voice in your heart that refuses to let you accept mediocrity. Whenever you tried to quiet it with logic, that voice would grow louder, reminding you that you have an extraordinary destiny. Now imagine a key floating before you, gleaming with promise. This key might be an email, a phone call, an unexpected meeting, or even a moment of intense clarity. You don't choose when it arrives, you only choose whether you'll be ready to grasp it. In the next 24 hours, something is set to happen that will trigger an internal realization. You'll look at your life and see that you have been preparing, piece by piece, for this very juncture. Old struggles begin to make sense in hindsight. Lessons you thought were random turn out to be the training you needed for what's next. Yet stepping through this unseen door demands courage. It requires letting go of the baggage you once clung to, self-doubt, outdated beliefs about what's possible, and the fear that you don't deserve more. The closer you get to that threshold, the more a sense of both excitement and trepidation will likely rise in your chest. It's natural to question if you're really ready, or if it's just wishful thinking. But deep inside, you know that blessings often show up just beyond your comfort zone. As you stand on the brink of this discovery, consider how your life might look on the other side. Envision yourself turning the key in a lock that has been sealed for far too long. Beyond it, you glimpse a version of yourself who is liberated from yesterday's burdens. This person is not weighed down by regrets or paralyzed by uncertainty. Instead, they move with a serene confidence, born of alignment with a higher calling. Something within you stirs, a silent confirmation that this journey, though it may have twists and turns, is precisely the path you were meant to walk. If you can sense that glimmer of truth, then know you've already begun the process of stepping into an entirely new chapter of your destiny. Chapter 2. Releasing the old maps. Before you can fully embrace what the next 24 hours have in store, it's essential to examine the mental roadmaps you've been using to navigate your life. Think of every preconceived notion, every outdated personal rule, every limiting belief that once told you, this is how things must be. These were the maps you carried, guiding you through uncertain terrain. Maybe they served you during your struggles, providing a sense of order when chaos reigned. Yet now you, Udaru, sense they're holding you back from reaching your true destination. Often, chosen ones find themselves bound by beliefs inherited from family, society, or past experiences. You might have internalized messages like, stay in your lane, don't expect too much, or you should just be grateful for what you have. These messages were designed to keep you safe, but safety can easily morph into stagnation. Over time, you start to mistake comfort for fulfillment, never realizing how much more life has to offer. It's like following a tattered old map that leads to the same dead end every time. You know the route by heart, but it doesn't take you where you need to go. One sign that it's time to release these old maps is a feeling of restlessness. You find yourself awake at odd hours, contemplating your purpose. You question everything: why certain relationships no longer nourish you, why your job feels more like a weight than a calling, why your dreams feel simultaneously so close and yet so distant. In those sleepless nights, you might find an inner stirring that tells you you're meant for something greater. This restlessness is not a flaw. It's an indicator that your soul is ready for the new direction that's about to unfold. Letting go of these maps doesn't mean discarding all wisdom from your past. Rather, it's about discerning which lessons still serve you and which have become mental shackles. You can honor your past experiences without allowing them to dictate every step of your journey. True liberation often comes when you realize that you can keep the insights but discard the fears. In practical terms, this might involve redefining success, embracing new forms of creativity, or stepping back from circles that keep you locked in cycles of doubt. With each layer you shed, your spirit grows lighter. Suddenly, you have the bandwidth to recognize opportunities you might have ignored before. A random conversation sparks an idea. A snippet of a song reminds you of a dream you once buried. A stranger's smile affirms your belief in the goodness of life. These small yet significant cues pave the way for the key that's coming your way. You'll find that as you release these old maps, the route to your next breakthrough appears more clearly, even if it defies logic or the well-meaning advice of people around you. When you stand at this crossroad, it's not the direction on some outdated chart that will guide you. It's the intuitive nudge in your heart that whispers, "Trust the open road." Chapter 3: Tuning into Divine Timing. One of the most humbling revelations for a chosen one is that not everything operates according to your personal schedule. You may have wrestled with impatience, wondering why you haven't achieved certain milestones or why you seem to lag behind peers who appear to reach success with ease. But life isn't a race, and timing is rarely random. There's a sense of orchestration at play, a pattern that only becomes visible when you take a step back. And in the next 24 hours, a piece of that grand design is set to reveal itself to you, offering a new layer of understanding about why certain doors open later than you expected. Divine timing isn't just a lofty concept. It's reflected in everyday moments. The conversation you overhear that speaks directly to a concern you've been grappling with, or the chance encounter with someone who holds the exact information you've been seeking. You might look back and realize that if you'd attempted to claim this key 6 months ago, you wouldn't have been ready for the responsibilities that come with it. Or if you had forced an opportunity to appear, you could have ended up entangled in a situation that stunted your growth. Sometimes what looks like a delay is actually a protective measure, shielding you from premature outcomes that could harm you more than help. When divine timing is in motion, you'll notice subtle synchronicities cropping up in your life. Maybe you see repeating numbers wherever you go, or you dream of a specific symbol that resonates deeply. These are not coincidences. They're breadcrumbs hinting that you're aligned with a higher frequency. Some people call them signs from God. Others attribute them to the universe or ancestral guidance. Whatever lens resonates with you, the underlying message is the same. You are not walking this path alone, and an invisible hand is guiding events in ways you might not fully comprehend yet. This is not to say that you should remain passive. Divine timing doesn't absolve you. It one of responsibility. In fact, it often challenges you to become more proactive in cultivating your skills, refining your mindset, and keeping your spirit open. If an unexpected window of opportunity appears tomorrow, will you hesitate because of old doubts, or will you seize the moment with confidence? It's one thing to trust the timing, it's another to stand ready to leap when the timing demands action. Over the coming hours, you might feel a sense of anticipation, as if an invisible clock is ticking toward a climactic moment. You might also experience flashbacks, random memories surfacing that highlight past lessons you almost forgot. These mental revisits serve as reminders of the tools you've gained through hardship and victory alike. When the key finally arrives, you recognize that it's not just an external item or event. It's a culmination of everything you've learned up to this point. As you turn that key, you step out of the linear notion of time and into a more expansive reality. Here, your efforts and faith collide in perfect synchronization, revealing a pathway that feels custom-made for you. Chapter 4. The Threshold of Fear and Faith. As you approach the critical moment when the key finds you, you may experience an internal tug-of-war between fear and faith. This is a natural byproduct of evolving beyond your previous limits. Fear warns you to remain in the comfort zone, to avoid risking disappointment or heartache. Faith, on the other hand, softly insists that you have everything you need to walk through any door that opens. This tension can be both exhilarating and daunting, manifesting in disrupted sleep, restless thoughts, or an undercurrent of excitement that hums just beneath the surface of your daily life. The role of fear isn't to paralyze you, it's there to alert you to the magnitude of what's at stake. If something in your life wasn't meaningful, you wouldn't be afraid to lose it or fail at it. But since you are a chosen one, living in alignment with a higher calling, your pursuits hold immense weight. Fear acts like a spotlight, illuminating where you need to focus your courage. Rather than fighting it, you can acknowledge its presence, letting it sharpen your sense of purpose. Faith, by contrast, gives you the oxygen to breathe through the tension. It reminds you that you have overcome past trials that once seemed insurmountable. When you recall how you navigated those challenges, you realize your resilience is deeper than you knew. Faith also invites you to trust that if you are truly meant to move forward, you won't be left stranded. Even in the face of the unknown, there's a quiet assurance that you're supported by something far greater than your own willpower. In the coming 24 hours, this push and pull may intensify. On one hand, you might be tempted to second-guess yourself. You might ask, what if I'm not worthy? Or, what if this doesn't work out the way I hope? On the other hand, an equally strong voice might rise up saying, but what if everything goes right? The key lies in which voice you choose to amplify. Will you allow fear to dwarf your potential, or will you nurture faith until it outshines every doubt? Many times people think that conquering fear means never feeling it again, but that's rarely the case. Real victory is deciding to proceed despite the tremors in your stomach or the unease in your heart. It's understanding that the energy behind fear can be transmuted into focus, propelling you toward the breakthrough you've been yearning for. The existence of fear simply confirms the importance of what you're about to do. Standing in the doorway, you might tremble. That's okay. The trembling itself is a sign that you're alive to the gravity of the moment. If a wave of anxiety sweeps over you, allow your faith to anchor you. Reflect on the roads you've traveled, the lessons you've learned, and the dreams that still light your path. Let that reflection bolster your courage. Then when the key reveals itself, you won't shrink back. You'll reach out, grasp it, and turn it with the full confidence that your faith, not your fear, is guiding you into your next season. Chapter 5. The Support He Never Expected. While the quest for this key feels highly personal, there's a hidden network of support you might only discover once you decide to move forward. These could be people you already know, friends or acquaintances who suddenly reveal that they share your vision or want to help. Or they could be completely new connections, strangers you cross paths with who sense your sincerity and offer assistance without asking for anything in return. At times, the support might come from surprising sources, like a mentor who contacts you out of the blue or an online community that resonates with your journey. If you look back, you'll see hints that this support has been orbiting your life for a while, waiting for the right moment to converge. Perhaps someone casually mentioned a resource or an opportunity, and at the time it didn't strike you as important. Or you joined a group months ago without actively participating, only to realize now that it's exactly where you need to be. The universe has a peculiar way of scattering clues around you like breadcrumbs, ensuring that when you step onto this new path, you won't have to walk it alone. That said, not everyone in your circle will be thrilled about your breakthrough. Some may feel threatened or insecure, interpreting your success as a judgment on their own choices. Others might minimize your progress, insisting it's just a lucky break or a fleeting phase. This is another reason why forming alliances with those who genuinely support you is critical. When naysayers try to pull you back, having even one or two people who genuinely believe in your potential can make all the difference. Your support system also extends beyond the human realm. If you have a spiritual practice, praying, meditating, or journaling, this is the time to lean into it. Sometimes you'll sense a calm presence urging you to keep going, or an unexplainable peace that settles in just when you feel most anxious. Chosen ones often have this spiritual backup that helps them navigate big transitions. It's as if the deeper you commit to your purpose, the more the cosmos responds with reinforcement. In the next 24 hours, be open to unexpected gestures of friendship or encouragement. A mere text message, a brief conversation in a coffee shop, or a seemingly random piece of advice could unlock your perspective in a life-changing way. The key you're about to receive is not purely a solitary event. It's also a communal initiation. Whether you realize it or not, your transformation will ripple through your relationships, awakening possibilities in those who witness your journey. Some will walk beside you, others might fade away, but each interaction will affirm that you're being guided by a force that recognizes your readiness. Allow yourself to be supported. For many, the hardest part is admitting they need help, but humility and openness create a fertile environment for miracles. When you stop trying to bear every burden alone, you make room for alliances that can propel you further than solitary effort ever could. As your path broadens, you'll appreciate that part of being a chosen one is understanding that you are interconnected with others who are also stepping into their higher callings. The synergy that emerges can feel like an invisible safety net, enabling you to take leaps of faith that once seemed too frightening. Chapter 6. Signposts of Affirmation. It's easy to second-guess your intuition, especially when you're on the brink of a major shift. You might question whether the signs you see are real, or if you're just reading too much into everyday events. Yet one of the hallmarks of a chosen one's journey is that confirmation tends to appear in tangible ways, sometimes subtle, sometimes glaringly obvious. In the hours ahead, you may notice a string of coincidences that feel like the universe is winking at you saying, yes, you're on track. Pay attention to the small things. Maybe a song plays on the radio that speaks directly to an issue you've been wrestling with. Perhaps you look at the clock at the exact same minutes each day, the repeated numbers hinting at deeper alignment. Even your dreams could intensify, delivering messages or scenarios that mirror what's happening in your waking life. These moments act as road markers, guiding you toward the specific door you're meant to unlock. They're not random. They're subtle nods to the heightened awareness you've cultivated by daring to believe in more. As you register these signs, try not to cling to them too tightly. They serve as reassurance, but they're not the end goal. You could become so fixated on finding more omens that you forget to live in the present and take necessary action. Signs are prompts, not destinations. Their purpose is to remind you that you're not alone in this process, that every step you're taking is supported by layers of reality you can't fully see. If you receive a nudge to call someone, apply for a job, or pursue an idea, trust that prompting, especially if it aligns with a deeper longing in your heart. There's also a chance you may encounter opposition or skepticism right when you start seeing these signposts. You might share your excitement with someone close to you, only to have them dismiss it. They could say, it's just a coincidence. For don't get your hopes up. It can feel deflating, but remember that your path doesn't need external validation to be valid. These confirmations are for you, crafted in ways that resonate with your personal experiences and emotional triggers. What appears trivial to others might be monumental in your eyes. If at any point you feel overwhelmed by the sheer volume of these hints, find a moment of stillness to collect your thoughts. Write down what you've noticed. Reflect on how each sign made you feel. Often patterns emerge only after we pause to review them. In doing so, you'll see the storyline forming around you, painting a picture of cosmic orchestration that defies easy explanation. And when that key arrives, you'll be able to connect the dots, realizing how each sign was part of a carefully woven tapestry leading you to the threshold you're about to cross. Keep in mind that signs can be multi-layered. Something as simple as a friend gifting you a physical key as a joke might actually be a nudge from the universe. Or hearing the word unlock in conversations multiple times in one day could be more than coincidence. Let these reminders stir a quiet confidence in your soul. You're about to gain access to something that has been locked away, perhaps within your own sense of possibility. Each affirmation is a testament that you're getting closer, that the moment you've been sensing is no mirage. It's real, and it's calling you forward. Chapter 7, Claiming Your Future. Every choice you've made, every lesson you've learned, and every obstacle you've overcome has led you to this pivotal juncture. You are a chosen one because you continue to stand up after life's countless attempts to keep you down. And now, within the next 24 hours, you will hold a key, something that could redefine what you consider possible. Perhaps it's a literal key to a new home, a promotion you've been waiting for, a message from an important contact, or a sudden epiphany that clears a path you once believed was blocked. Whatever form it takes, it arrives with the quiet insistence that you've been prepared for this all along. As this key finds its way into your hands, you may feel a rush of gratitude. You remember moments when you felt overlooked or misunderstood, times when you doubted your own capabilities. You'll see how those experiences were never wasted, but were part of the shaping process that molded you into someone capable of handling bigger responsibilities and bigger blessings. The sense of readiness that floods you is not arrogance. It's the soft assurance that you've done the inner work and can now step forward with dignity and grace. The question is, how will you wield this power? There's a difference between receiving a key and actually using it. You might look at it with wonder, then place it on a shelf out of fear or procrastination. Yet the door remains closed until you make the choice to unlock it. Sometimes the greatest act of bravery is simply to turn the knob, to walk through a new gateway. Even though you're not entirely sure what waits on the other side, remember that your journey doesn't end with this key. It's merely a passage to another level of growth and discovery. New horizons will open up, bringing fresh challenges and fresh victories. You'll have opportunities to share the insights you've gained, to mentor others who stand where you once stood, uncertain and searching. You will become a living testament to the power of faith, resilience, and intuitive trust. So when the moment arrives, and you'll know it when it does, reach out and take hold of the key with confidence. Feel the wave of resolve that surges through you, reminding you that this is the next step you've been waiting for. The next 24 hours are simply a doorway in time. But what lies beyond will continue to unfold far beyond any clock or calendar. Let the old limitations dissolve and allow yourself to step fully into a future designed for your highest good. It all comes down to your decision. Will you seize the key and open the door to a new dimension of your life? Or will you cling to the comfort of what's familiar? The answer is already in you, waiting to be spoken. There's a path set before you that only you can walk, and this key is your invitation to take that first exhilarating step. The story continues from here, one turn of the lock at a time, as you move into the profound and boundless possibilities awaiting just on the other.